Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here, and today we find ourselves in the magical realm of Zaberias as 4 tribes are fighting to conquer the whole realm. The Guardians, Orcs, Humans, and Undead. Now you'll be conquering new fortresses, upgrading existing ones to increase income, and gaining access to stronger and bigger units to be the last tribe standing. Zaberias is for 2 to 4 players. It takes 20 or more minutes to play. It's for ages 6 and up. Now it's available right now, so I'm going to show you how the game works, and I'll see you on the other side. Now Zaberias is not just a game, it actually teaches counting and enhances reading, strategic thinking, and helps build social skills. In Zaberias, each of the players are going to be one of the unique tribes in the game, for example, the Humans, or the Guardians, the Orcs, or the Undead. And the back side of this actually doubles as the board that we'll show you in just a moment. And below that are your fighter units, upgradable cities, and coins. And since each tribe has their own board, depending on the amount of players, there'll be a certain amount of boards out there, like in a 4-player game. It might look something like this, but the setup differs depending on the amount of players you have. Each player gets a wooden city in their corner, and this is where their fighter units will be coming onto the board. And this is important because over the course of the game, you're going to be placing your units on the board and upgrading your cities, and the object of the game is to be the last one standing, meaning no other opponent on the board has any of their cities or units. Now turns are very flexible in this game. You have some coins to spend, you'll be bringing out different units, you'll be possibly upgrading different buildings, and you're going to be going off attacking other players' units and attacking their buildings. Now if you remember, we have a wood city to start the game with, and that means any of the units in this row can be placed on there, but you have to pay for them. In this first row here, they're going to range between 1 or 2 coins. So let's say we want to put up this knight, we would spend a coin, and to do that, we essentially flip it over to say we spent it, and then we can put this on the board. So maybe it goes just like this. Now you'll notice that the board actually has squares built into it. So one thing you could do is move. This tells me I can move up to 3. Now I can only move up, down, left, right normally unless a path goes diagonally. So that was 1 move, this was 2 moves, and this is 3 moves. So now I'm on another place where you can see in the little slot in the board here in a city, I could build another city here. So building wood cities are free. So we'll take this out and we'll actually place it on the board. And there we have it. Now these are important because obviously we can bring out units there, but also you'll notice this has 1 coin on it. Now we've been spending coins to do things like bring the different units out. We will also spend coins in order to upgrade buildings. Now why do we want to do that? Because at the beginning of your turn, each building that you have out there that has coins on it, you'll get as income, essentially coins, which will give you ways to do more things. So for example, if it was the beginning of my turn, I have both of these cities out there, each of those have 1 coin on it, so I would get 2 coins. I would be able to flip both of these over to be able to be used this turn. But let's say we're still in the middle of that other turn. You can upgrade a city. To upgrade a city, you have to go from this wood to a metal one. So in this case, I would have to spend 2 coins. Now the wood ones are always free to place. These ones cost 2 coins. So I could upgrade one of these. I would have to spend 2 of my coins to do so, like this. And I could upgrade it. So this one would go back on my board, and now this one has become a metal building. And now that I have this city out there, I could bring one of these units out at that building because there's nobody there right now, there's no units. However, these ones always cost 3 or 4 for the Humans this here. And I only have 2 coins left. So I could end my turn now, and at the beginning of my next turn, I'm gonna get 1, 2, 3 coins for the cities that I have out there. So I would have 5 to spend next turn. Or maybe I want to spend a coin or two to get one of these out there now, having less next round. It just depends on what's going on the board, the state of what the other players are doing. There's a lot of strategy here to think about, even though the game's pretty simple. So maybe I do decide to bring the archer out. He costs 1, so I could flip this, and I could place him here. Notice that this is a level 2 city. It could bring in a level 2 or a level 1 unit like that, but the level, the metal units could only come out to this one. They couldn't come out to this one and such. So they're all sort of tiered that way. Now I actually have 2 units, and they're both sort of defending the city. So as we'll show you later, a vacant city could be attacked from another player, and they might be able to take this out and put their own city on here and take it over. But this is going to give it some more defense that I'll show you in just a little bit. And since I only have 1 coin left, both of these cost 2, so I can't really do a whole lot more here. I could move that archer because it wasn't moved yet, but in this case, I'm just going to keep everything defending right now, and we'll stop our turn and be the next player's turn. And then when it comes back to us, remember, we're going to get 1, 2, 3 coins to spend. And again, this is the form of currency that we're going to be using. So let's say it's our next turn, and the undead player has brought a skeleton in down here. They're thinking about trying to take over this, and I'm here, so I can move up to 3. Now you can't move through water, but there is a bridge here, so I can move here. Now I can move up to 3, and I could now stop here and attack this skeleton. Now after the attack, I can't move again. I have to use all my movement before or after I attack. But let's look at a few different things here. This is muscle. Both of us have 3. This has a dice. How many dice are you going to roll? Both of us have 1. So we're both pretty equal characters and neither of us have any special abilities. Now in this case, the attacker would roll first and then this player rolls. And so we have 3 muscle plus 2, 5, 3 plus 1, 4. This player would win. So this would be gone. He lost his unit. It's gone for the game. And again, if you're the only one on the board with units and cities, you win. Now, if it's tied, the attacker can decide to stand down and end the attack, or they can go through another round of rolling the dice. But if the defender won, then the attacker's going to be gone and out of the game. However, let's say it was the archer that's here. Now notice the archer has this. This is range. This means it could shoot up to 2 away. 1, 2. And even if this bridge wasn't here, they can shoot over water. So here they can hit this skeleton, and we did the same thing. We rolled the dice. This is 3 plus 1, 4. And this is 3 plus 0, 3. So this player would kill the skeleton. However, let's say it looked like this. 1 muscle plus this is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. This player has defended, but they don't kill this character because they are at range with them, and so they did not get killed. However, if they were fighting an acid spitter and it was 3 to 4, this player, the defending player, would win, and because they do have a range of 2, now this character would die. Now sometimes you can surround an enemy by 2 or more units, and this is an ambush. So here, remember, you can't usually go diagonally, but because there's a road here, this is adjacent and this has range here. And so these 2 characters would roll, and then the defender would roll. And so now we have 3 plus 1 is 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 4, so this character would be dead. However, if it was like this, we only have 3, 4, 5 versus 6. The defender would win. And because they're within range of both of these characters would be gone. Unless maybe you had a character on one of these stars. And any of your characters on any of these stars gives you 1 more muscle. And in this case, now we have 3, 4, 5, plus the extra muscle from the mermaid on the power star. We're at 6, but they're at 6, so we're tied, so we could decide to stand down or roll again. And we decided to roll again, and now we have 1 more of them, so they would be dead, so that's how it works. And those power stars are good for attacking or defending. Now you can easily move away from your cities, but that makes them a little bit more susceptible to being taken over. Because if the undead crow came into the city, this has only 1 die. Of course, the bigger the city, the more dice they're going to get. But they only have 1 die, and this player has 1 die, but 2 muscles, so they're at 3 versus 2. So this would take it over and effectively take the city of the humans off there and place it like this. Now they could decide not to attack the city, and they might do that because maybe they had already attacked that turn, because you can only attack once per turn. And this actually would keep the people from, the humans in this case, from bringing new units here because they're blocking them, because you can't move through or onto where other units are. But if this player is here sort of defending this city, the 1 die for the city, 1 die for this, and 1 muscle, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 2, 3, 4, 5. This player would defend it, and this player would be gone. Now this undead acid spitter could try to attack this unoccupied city here because they have a range of 2. So they have 1 plus 2. We have 3 and 4. So this essentially would win, and so this player would not die because they are not. They're just, you know, it's just a city, and they're not right on top of it. However, if this player did defeat this city, they're not on it. They're just doing it by range. So this just comes off the board. Now you can also assist with other units. Let's say this acid spitter is going to be fighting here. Well, this player not only has an additional muscle because of the mermaid on the power star, but this one has a range of 2, and it's within 2 of the attacker. So this one also gets to help defend. And so here we have 3 plus 1 is 4. This one is 4 all by itself, plus 3, plus another 1 because they're on the star. So the defender would win here, and this player would be gone. Now these gold mines are cool because if you start your turn and you're on one of these, you'll get a coin for every one you have a unit on, regardless of on whose board it is. Also, there are these sort of magic portals that you can use, and if you come here for 1 move, you can make 1 more move to come out of any other portal that doesn't have another unit on it and continue your movement. But if there's another unit on there, it blocks you from using that portal. Now those are the basics of Zaberias. Again, you're taking your turn, ending it when you want to, or run out of gold and you have no movements left, so it's very flexible in that regard. And you're trying to be the last one standing with any units and cities on the board. Now obviously over the course of the game, as you upgrade your cities, you're bringing up better units, like ones that have 5 movement and 5 muscle and 2 dice, or 4 movement, 2 range, 5 muscle and 3 dice. Of course, these ones can only come out of the gold buildings, but each of these have special abilities as well. For example, the Mermaid can pass over water and units, or the Dazzle Walker, it basically disables the unit's ability for 1 turn that's within its range. Now the Paladin doesn't have any, but it's very powerful on its own. The Teleporter moves a friendly unit to any location within its range instead of attacking. The Ninja keeps the units defeated underneath them and rolls for each 1 extra die that's below them, so that's really cool. It gets stronger as the game goes on. The Giant Armor gives you 1 extra die to all his units and himself. And the Dragon can carry one of the wood units on that bottom row there and fights as 1 unit, but the unit can get off at will, and it can fly over water and units. Now here are what the undead units look like. Now I'm not going to go over all of these in detail, but feel free to pause the video and read these abilities. Here's what the Guardians look like. And here are their names and their abilities. Again, feel free to pause and check these out in more detail. And last but not least, here are the Orc Units. And here's all their names and abilities. And you can pause here to read all these, and then I'll see you back in the studio where I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can get the game. Well, there you have Zaberias, and as I showed in the overview, it teaches counting, enhances reading, strategic thinking, and even helps build social skills. Now it's available now, and if you go to Zaberias.com, they have links where you can get the game right now from Amazon, Walmart, eBay, or Etsy, and I'm sure the creators of Zaberias would love your support, and that link is below as well.